Yeah, it's working.
Yeah. We good?
Yep.
Hey, am I gonna do? What am I doing? Am I just doing this tonight or what?
Just stop it and we can start it over. It's okay. Just stop it and start it over.
Okay.
We'll start.
Yeah.
Give him a countdown.
Welcome to Wise Take DFS Podcast After Hours with Adi. I am your host, Adi Fulton. You can find me on Twitter at Patio Joe Ref. And I'm joined here tonight by my friend, my amigo, Paulie D. You can follow him on Twitter at Paulie8Ds. What's going on, Paul?
Nothing, bro. You know, I look forward to my Thursday night hour with Adi. You know, this is a good time in life. And it's Christmas time, and we got some football this weekend. I love it. We got 3 days. It's just beautiful things. So I got to get my little advice session on and win some money on top. So this is a good thing, man.
We got an 12-game slate. And before the show, Paulie was able to taste some of my wife's cooking. She baked a whole big couple big good brownies, and there's a whole bunch of stuff.
Ooh, these are good.
They're all and they're all made. She made them all. It's just great. And the thing is that she only makes there's less than 20 people that get these baskets. So to be on the list is big. So
it's
and
exclusive.
Yes. So and don't forget, CK. Don't worry, I have something for you too. I have to see you. So don't be upset if you're in the back. I know you're probably not, but anyways, though, we got a 12-game slate leading into Christmas. It's on Christmas Eve, which is a little weird the way they split things up. Like FanDuel right now doesn't even have the Monday 2-game Monday slate up, which is weird to me. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get a piece of it right now, there's a Sunday Monday, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's it. I know. It's very weird, but it'll be there. It'll be just like, when the Monday night game and the Monday Thursday comes up, it'll come up probably late Sunday.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. So, I mean, the weird thing is with this week is a couple things is with 4 games being on the 2 on Saturday and 2 on Monday, we have some games. We have 12 games, and there's a couple just teams that just really have nothing to play for.
Yep.
So it's whether or not we really want to attack that game or we just want to cross it off. And conversely, there's also teams that are not playing for anything and basically folded in the towel. And do we want to attack them? How much do we want to attack them? So These last few weeks are a little bit trickier, but the way that they split it up, to me, I feel like in some positions, there's 4 guys I'm going to play, and that's it. And then there's another position, I'm still wondering, it's it's kind of weird. So, anyways,
that's how it gets. That's how it gets this time of year, and just because 2 teams have nothing to play for doesn't mean there's not opportunity there. And, some teams may be giving up and others are still, got players that are trying to earn paychecks. So there's a lot of dynamics going on right now. There's bonuses. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff going on at the end of the year. Who's in the playoff hunt, who's not, who's looking for seeding, who's not, So, yeah, it gets dynamic, but I think that this time of the year, you also can, if you pick right, you know what to expect, and it's just about getting those spots right because you have a full, season of history now to go on, and you can you pick the right spots. It's just a matter of if that game flow goes your way or not.
Yeah, and it's I wonder if people are going to be playing more this week or not, just because it's Christmas Eve.
I think it can only reduce. Some guys that are mass enterers may just go with one in a higher dollar because they don't want to put in the work because they got family coming. I don't see that any way that there's more.
Yeah, no, there'd be less. Yeah, that's where I would lean. What was your take on the end of the Pittsburgh New England game on Sunday?
My take was it wasn't a catch, and Ben Roethlisberger choked, and Tom Brady got lucky, right?
Again,
The game should have went to overtime, and it wasn't a catch. I think it was the right rule. The ball came loose at the end. You got to complete. It's according to the rule. Maybe the rule's not great, but I didn't think it was a catch. I didn't have any like vested interest. I didn't care. So to me, I was just watching it without any it didn't matter. And I was like, that's not a catch. And then that last play, like you just spike the ball and you take the field goal. Like, there's like late over the middle is the worst thing a quarterback can do. So,
and you're at home too.
Yeah.
They deserve to lose that game. Yeah, and I mean the thing about I've been saying it all week on whatever pods I've been doing is that if you've been watching the NFL for the last 5 years and you're surprised that they ruled that incomplete, you haven't been watching the NFL at all, like one bit. Like,
yeah, and I know, like, dude, there's been so many catch, like either yes it was a catch or no decisions at the end of games that have had huge implications, and that's unfortunate, but it's part of the game, and that call didn't really make the impact. It was Roethlisberger throwing the pick there that really impacted the game.
Well, and they're starting to be consistent with it. The backlash that they're not consistent is wrong. I think, like, we could talk about that one touchdown that Damier Beard caught where it feel like half of his butt was out of bounds and half of it was inbounds.
I didn't think that was a catch. Did you?
I didn't think so either, but I also thought that Kareem Hunt's catch on Saturday night was, because even though it was on the ground, like he had control of it. It was weird.
Yeah, I don't remember that one fully, but I do remember seeing it, and I think I thought it was a drop, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it was close.
Notable ones are like
the Dez
Austin
catch.
Seferian-Jenkins, right, this year. Dez, and that's another rule. Fumbling through the end zone, that's from a different game, but that should not switch possessions. Like, that's crazy.
There's got to be something, though, that you just can't give it back to the offense on the 1 yard line. If the guy did a good job of knocking the ball out and the ball just happens to go through the back of the end zone, I just don't think, we'll give it back to the offense at the 1 yard.
That's what happens when it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, but it's still in the end zone. If the thing is, there's got to be something to it. I'm not. I don't know. As a referee, I haven't really looked at it as that's a good or
that's
bad
a newer rule. That hasn't been around for a long time. Like, 40 years of football, it didn't go that way.
All right.
That's been around.
Yeah.
That's
been around. Oh yeah, every level that's been around.
Really?
Since I've been reffing. And I've been reffing 21 years. So.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know that rule then.
Yeah.
But the Dez catch, Austin Seferian-Jenkins this year, and then the catch at the end of that Seattle Green Bay game, Golden Tate, I think it was at the time. Like, it's been going on forever. Like you said, if you think that's like out of the norm, like you just have to accept that might happen sometimes.
Okay, guys. Well, once again, if you haven't listened to us, this is pretty much, we're going to go game by game. We're going to be giving more of a DFS slant, but it is championship week in your seasonal league. So if you can take some nuggets from us, maybe we'll have some plays that help you out. Let's start off with one of game to talk about, because both teams have a lot to play for. We got Todd Gurley and the Los Angeles Rams traveling east to take on Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, what a performance by Gurley last week. That was awesome. Big momentum win for the Rams after losing to the Eagles the week before. And, I think you attack the pass game here. Titans are good against the run and horrible against the pass. And Goff, and with that coach calling the plays, they can open it up with the pass. I think if you're going to pair a receiver, it's, Cooper Kupp on the cheap, or Robert Woods. Yeah,
Woods is even that. Woods is 6,600 on FanDuel. That ain't even that much. So.
I love pairing Goff and Woods this week. I think there's a ton of upside. I think that the Titans will be able to score too, and they have something to play for. Like, I expect this game to kind of shoot out, and like, the Titans can get it done on the ground. They can do it through the air. They've got a bunch of different targets. Mariota can do some running. So I expect two teams that want, better seeding in the playoffs to continue to score. And, I don't like a ton of, like, individual pieces on the Tennessee side, but I like them to keep the game close and support my Woods and Goff plays. But that's really it. I don't think I'd go Gurley here.
Yeah, I'm fade Gurley right now.
Yeah.
Last 6 weeks, the Titans have been giving up the second least amount of fantasy points to running backs. So it's not. I just don't think that they're coming across the country. The Titans are probably going to say we're going to shut him down and we're going to make Goff beat us.
I totally agree.
Where I disagree with you though is I think the Rams defense is in play. Marcus Mariota is a poor man's Russell Wilson in some ways, and they made Wilson just look crappy. Now, we have not seen anything from Mariota this year that makes me believe that he can put up that type of even a Russell Wilson performance that he's been doing this year. So that being said, I feel like the Rams defense is in play, but I love the fact of Goff, and I like Robert Woods. I like both of them definitely. I think the Rams win this game through the air, but their defense also comes to play, and I wouldn't mind because their defense is like 4,500 on FanDuel. Like you said it yourself. Like there's nobody really on. They're 4,600 on FanDuel. There's nobody really on the Titans that really scares you. I mean, what, Rashard Matthews? I mean, come on. I mean, their running game isn't it?
But like they've been gritty, man. Like, so I think Seattle was on its way down, and like they kind of just like it all fell apart and they got exposed. But the Titans
snowballed too.
They've been grinding out tough wins. Sometimes not against best opponents, but sometimes yes. And like the Eagles just did whatever they wanted against this Rams D 2 weeks ago. We've seen Sam Fran go off against this D. So like I see your point. It's possible, but it's also possible that they keep up and like, you know, maybe Mariota's a decent play. I don't not in any small field stuff, but in like Millie Maker tournaments, I don't think that's the craziest thing in the world. You know, like you can get some on the ground, but you're right. But it's also like you could also be wrong. Like I don't think the Rams defense is like in like a must play situation by any means. But
no, I don't think they're must play. I mean they're GPP play for me.
Yeah, it's possible. Yep.
Because if you're looking down, like you're looking at defense this week, there's not a lot of like low dollar defenses that you really, really want to roster. There's one.
I have one. I have one that I really like. I'm curious if it's the same one.
Yeah, I said it last night on the Y stream on the first look. So
I saw like half of that show. Like I was like, whenever I get a call and I'm watching my phone, I get taken off. So I didn't see that part, but I got one that I really like, and there's another. But I hope we're on the same one.
All right, let's move on.
This game for sure.
Yeah, let's move on to the next game. We got Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler will happen. Miami Dolphins traveling to KC to take on Alex Smith, Kareem Hunt, and the Kansas City Chiefs.
So this is that defense.
I don't mind it either.
I think the Chiefs defense is coming together at the right time. They're at home, and Jay Cutler will happen. And the Dolphins really don't have much to play for. I like this Chiefs team. Like they like hit a rut and they're coming out of it, and they're coming out of it in multiple ways. Like last week on defense, they shut down Oakland at home, a game that the
Chargers.
The Chargers too.
Yeah, Chargers was last week.
Yeah. And Oakland was the week before that, and their offense is clicking too. And it's like the Dolphins have a good run D. So I like going to Travis Kelce for sure. Or I don't mind like a Tyreek Hill defense stack or just like Tyreek Hill on its own. I don't know if I would go to Hunt with the defense correlation, but I think it's in play. And I think it'll be low owned. And like, if he busts one, he could definitely I could see this game going like 30-3 Kansas City, then just like coming alive, kind of like the Rams. Or it could be like a low scoring kind of affair. So there's like multiple approaches, but they all kind of either have to do with the Chiefs passing game or the D. And on Miami, like you could take a flyer on like a Landry, but that I don't really have much interest. I like Kansas City to like kind of dominate, like a good playoff team establishing itself against a bad team at the end of the year.
What about Drake? Yeah, no interest in Drake?
No, they're going to be
Not
losing.
even for the volume? Okay.
I mean, yeah, but I really don't think the Dolphins are going to score a touchdown in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do, I think it'll be one. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that'll be Drake. And like on DraftKings, like, yeah, because you get the PPR, but on FanDuel, I don't know if he's really got much more than like 18-ish point upside. Like, I think there's some backs that could get you like 27s and 30s this week.
Yeah, for me, I look at it as I like the KC defense for sure. That's a good call. 4,500 against the Dolphins. That's just way too cheap. The OC for the Chiefs was on. They tweeted something. One of the beat writers tweeted something. The OC said, "We stopped getting cute and just tried to feature our best players more." And look what happened.
And that's true. That's very true.
And so to me, I feel like Kareem Hunt is definitely in play this week. I mean, the last two games, he's gotten 25 and 24 rushing attempts. So that's 49 carries. He's gotten, it's 57 points in the last 2 weeks. Yep. Can't be saying he's going to get 25 points a week, but he could get over 20 this week very easily.
Game script will be in his favor for sure.
Exactly.
I think it comes down to whether he breaks one, kind of like early in the year. I think it was against like Philly early in the year when he took one in like late in the fourth when they were ahead. If he gets you that, then he's like a tournament winning play. Without that breakaway, he's still probably going to get you 20.
Yeah, and if they throw to him more, it's even better. And I like Kelsey. I think that's a good play.
Tight ends against Miami. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Tight ends against Miami are terrible. You can hit it. It's a matter of, fitting him in. And did I read that he was a snub for the Pro Bowl?
I didn't read that, but that'd be a travesty.
That would be. It would be a travesty.
Dude, he's one of the best receivers in the game right now.
Yeah, I agree. There's nobody on the Miami side I really go for. When it comes to running back this week, I guess you could go to Drake just for volume, but to me, there's like guys right around his same price that I like just as much. So it's just kind of like move on and go somewhere else. So let's move on to the next game. We have this is one of the games where you might not want too much of it, but maybe a little bit. We got the Detroit Lions and Matt Stafford traveling just a little ways to Cincinnati to take on AJ Green and the Cincinnati Bengals.
So, initially, like I thought there was going to be a chance AJ McCarron, started for Cincinnati in this game. Like that's an organization that's falling apart, right? We already know the coach is gone. Like I have a feeling these guys are going to be checked out. Mm-hmm. Lions, on the other hand, I think have a little more to play for.
Oh yeah, they can't lose. So
yeah, so there's a game script that says the Bengals are home and they have pride and they hang in there because I don't think Detroit is like a team that they can't hang with if they're in the game, if they're trying. Mm-hmm. But there's also a script that where they've given up and Detroit just kind of romps them too. So, they have a depleted secondary, so I'm fine with Stafford and like a Marvin Jones is a revenge spot for Marvin Jones. And, I like him in this game regardless. On the Bengals side, like I really have a hard time paying up for AJ Green in a game where I'm worried he may not even finish. And I have a hard time playing any of the Bengals side. Maybe in a cheap entry game stack, like a $7 tournament. You just want to try one, but for me, it's just going to be Stafford and a receiver. That's the extent of my interest, and I don't mind taking a look at the Lions defense too. If that second outcome occurs, they could score for you.
Yeah, I see Stafford being a pretty safe cash play at 7,900.
Yeah.
Or what the quarterback options there are this week. He's pretty safe just because the Lions' run game is terrible. You got Theo Riddick as an option, I think, on DK. I think you could play him. He has a role right now the last few weeks. I was watching that game last week. If he didn't get out of a wrist injury, he would have played more. And he was definitely more active this week. He has not missed any practicing. So Theo Riddick's an option. But Marvin Jones has got to be the play here with Stafford just because, it's the revenge game. Yeah. There's no Kilpatrick. There's no There's no Pac-Man. The safety's out. Burfict's still. I mean, it's like they're just a walking wounded.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad place to go. But the thing is that I wonder if it might even be sort of like this is why Stafford's good for cash. Stafford's going to do exactly what Case Keenum did last week. You know, he's going to play 3 quarters. They're going to be up 24-3, and they're just going to sit him the fourth quarter, you know, or 30-3, you know, just like they did.
It's possible. Like,
yeah,
you know, there was a reason to take out Keenum, though. It was like, let's get Bridgewater in. The Lions don't really have that. Stafford
and didn't he throw a pick like the first only
first
drive
play,
that was in?
very first play, yeah.
And then they took him out again, right?
No, I think he finished the game, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like this game just for Stafford and Jones, but everything else is pretty much a pass. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
This is another game. I don't know we have much to talk about at all, but Cleveland at Chicago. Go.
You know, like, I feel like these two teams are actually, like, still trying. Like, I think the Browns want to win, and I think the Bears, like, the youth movement, they got a bunch of guys, like, fighting for jobs. Like, all those receivers are, like, borderline, like, might not be in the league next year, but getting their, like, best shot. Like, I don't know if I think there's opportunity in here. I just haven't looked deep enough into where. But like, I don't mind Gordon. You know, like I don't see why he wouldn't get a touchdown here. The Bears don't defend the pass that great. You know, going to probably be one of the best players on the field most of the time. Jordan Howard could get a touchdown here. The Browns have been running. Like, I don't know yet, but I think there's more in this game. Like I alluded before the show, like, just because they have nothing, like, according to playoffs played for, I think there's guys here that may play a little harder than expected. So catch me on the live stream for that one. I haven't dug in yet, but I mean, Gordon off the top of my head, I think is a play, like, for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean the flavor of the week at defense is the Bears, but they're too expensive to me. I'm not going to play that, even on the road, even at home against Kaiser. Yep. Yeah, there's nobody really else. I'm going to stay away from it. I have no desire to play Josh Gordon. I've been saying since the beginning he comes back, he's not going to blow up because of Kaiser. So there's nobody really I want here.
On DraftKings, like, one of those Bears receivers could really pay off.
Inman. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
I can see it happening.
Like, Trubisky's actually been, like, a good fantasy play the last 2 weeks, and he's throwing touchdowns, and he's got a handful of guys, and you can pass on, like, outside of the number one receiver against the Browns. You know, like, somebody on DraftKings at very low price could really pay off big out of this game. But I feel you, like, in cash, there's not really anybody. But in tournaments, there's something here. I'm sure of it.
Well, thing about that I've been hearing is that we got this young defense with the Bears, and they played all right last week. But rumor is John Fox is done.
Yeah.
So they might be done too. They might be checked out also. So that might just that's why Cleveland, I think, has a chance. I think they have more to play for just because they don't want to go winless.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah. Anyways, let's move on to another game with this is two teams that really there's nothing to play for. We have whatever quarterback Denver's playing with at Kirk Cousins and the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, so this one I struggle. You know, I don't know if there's really anything that I want. Wow.
Washington D, maybe? Vernon Davis? That's the only thing I can think of because they're both terrible at tight end, but Vernon Davis hasn't been doing much. I don't think he's going to win you a tournament or anything, you know.
Where's this game? Is it in Denver?
It's at Washington. I thought it was at Denver first look, but it's at Washington, which makes the Skins defense a little bit more viable to me, but I don't know. That's about it. I really don't see any other option in this game. But right now, I mean,
yeah.
Who do you see winning this game? I see if you want to go
Redskins. The Redskins are going to win this game.
If you want to go with the narrative that Cousins is playing for a contract, maybe you could play Cousins. But if you want to, sell you on
you
that.
Still don't play him, but yeah.
Last week he should have done better, and he didn't. So it's going to be a sloppy game.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about one. I'll talk about one play. This is Cam brought this up last week or last night, and volume is king in DFS.
CJ Anderson.
CJ Anderson, 30, 22, 15. I mean, you see it's a steady at 6,200. I mean, that's a play nobody's going to look at. I mean,
you can do it. You can definitely do it. I agree.
But look, the funny thing is, okay, here's this. He's at 6,200.
Yeah.
He had 30 carries last week for 58 yards. Didn't get in the end zone. Mm-hmm. He only got 15.8 points.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't get in the end zone, he's not catching balls.
Yeah.
So 6,200, he's believe it or not, he's probably a better cash option than anything. He's not he's probably going to get volume, and he's probably going to get, Elijah Penny, some guy we never even heard of, got 45 yards on 10 carries last week.
No. I just learned about Elijah Penny like 3 hours ago, and I was like, who?
Yeah. Oh, did you see the guy who was asking me on Twitter? Was that it? Some guy asked me on Twitter today. He's like, one of our members. I think his name was Greg or something. He's like, do you want to play Penny, or there was some other running back that's like a rookie that's Bibbs, because
Bibbs on the Redskins.
Yeah. And I was like, I play Penny over either of them, but I'm probably not. Then but yeah, I think that CJ Anderson is the only play in this game for like one singular player that I would want to have, and the Redskins D. So,
I don't mind Bibbs on DraftKings because he can catch balls and he's probably crazy cheap. And
you could get a touchdown last week.
Yeah, he's got talent.
Didn't he used to play for
Colorado State?
Did he play New Orleans though?
He was on Denver. Denver.
Oh, Denver. Yeah. That's right.
And he's had a couple touchdowns like when they got very depleted.
So wait a minute, we have Capri Bibbs revenge game. Oh, yes. All in.
Capri Bibbs. This is revenge for Capri Bibbs.
Capri Bibbs revenge game.
What's his price on FanDuel actually?
I bet it's 4,500. Let's see. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's a little bit more. 5,000.
I saw something this week about him being like introduced into the offense more, or that he was like gonna sign a 1-year contract or something. So they must have liked him.
Well, they signed him, and literally they signed him on Thursday.
I know, and then he got like a play to him. I know.
Yeah, and he scored a touchdown. You're like, oh, well, everybody was on Perrine. Oh.
Yeah. I think he's got like kick return capability too. Like he was amazing at Colorado State. I remember him. My dad went to that college, so I've been to games and I've just kept an eye on them. And he was really like athletic, and like I just was like, this kid could be good. So I could play him.
It's just 3,500 on DraftKings.
Yeah, I'll play him over there for sure. That'll be my cheap value guy.
There you go. All right, we got Jameis Winston, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, going to Carolina to face, all of a sudden, a team that looks like the Super Bowl team from a couple years ago, and Cam Newton, the Carolina Panthers. What do you got?
I mean, Cam Newton is not winning anything this year, but he may win this game, and this may be another good spot for him. But this team, I do not believe is that great. But they're definitely going to make the playoffs, and the Cam Hoopla is going to start, and then he's going to have a major letdown on the road in the playoffs for sure. But against Tampa, yeah, you can dial them up. You can dial up C-Mac. You can dial up Demare Beard, although I don't really think he'd go back there after he had the game of his life. Greg Olsen, that's going to continue to flourish. I like Greg Olsen. Mm-hmm. And I just have no interest in the Tampa side.
What? You don't like Evans at 7K? No. That's tempting. Come on, man. The Carolina secondary has been real generous. They've been giving up the second most fantasy points to receivers the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
At 7K?
I mean, last week.
It's 7K though. I mean that.
I'm not going there. That's the trap, in my opinion. Like
it could be. You're right.
He doesn't do anything after
I agree.
the catch.
No, I completely agree with that. It's a total price point for me.
Yeah, I hear you.
I saw it at $7K and it perked my ears up. He's 7,500. No.
Okay.
But he's $7K. I'm like, okay, I could see 14 to 20 points and not being okay. You know.
Let me. How many times has he gone over 20 this year?
No, 0.
So we're
sure.
looking for him to have the game of his life on the road against a team gaining momentum. I think it's gonna be a long day for the Bucs, and it's not gonna be fun. I don't think. You know, I don't want anybody from the Bucs side. You could probably play Carolina's defense. Jameis gonna throw some interceptions.
Well, that's the thing is that they have 3 linemen that just went on IR this week. And Vernon Hargraves, I believe, just went on IR. Like, everybody, they're just so beat up. That's why I think Funches is a little bit of a bounce-back candidate, but I won't play you this week. Screw you. I like Greg Olsen as a good cash play. Even after 1 week, what I saw him do was like,
oh, yeah.
Damn, Cam just loves him.
Yep.
And Christian McCaffrey.
Whew. Yeah.
I'm out. It took me a while. It took me a little while to get on that train. And you could see his role growing though, and I think he's cash game playable on both sides. I think that they're going to run him and they're going to throw to him more. We saw, what's his name get really. Devonta Freeman was involved in the pass game on Monday night. They're coming off a short week. I mean, Carolina needs this game. I love C-Mac.
You can do C-Mac and Carolina D correlation for sure.
Oh, yeah. And you could even do C-Mac and Cam and be fine because they pass.
And get every touchdown in this game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and all you're trying to fade then is, what's his name, the running back on Carolina.
Stewart.
He's just Stewart. You have to fade Stewart when you take that approach because they'll probably get 28. You know, they're probably going to get 4 touchdowns. And if Cam throws them to C-Mac, like 2 of them, you're in a great spot. No, I'm saying, but if you stack those 2, you're in a seriously good spot. But I think McCaffrey has a chance to have, like, a breakout game here, too, like where he takes a couple long ones to the house. When an offensive line goes down, it's what's been destroying the Giants all year. Like, you just can't do anything. And it's just going to get worse. And Jameis is going to take risks. There's going to be picks. And, yeah. Carolina blows them out, I think.
I mean, and here's my thing about McCaffrey. Like, his price on FanDuel is $7,300, and like you got Drake and Howard right below him. And like, man, I like C-Mac a hell of a lot more than both of those guys. Yeah. I like him even more than Fournette, who's at 8,100. You know, the only guy Freeman is the only guy I would like more than him this week if Coleman wasn't playing. But we'll get to that. But yeah. McCaffrey, I'm all in. Olsen, I like that, and I like Cam. I at first I started him Cam as a cash option just because Tampa's so bad. I'm still wondering that, but he's definitely on my list. What do you think about Cam and cash?
Cam and cash. I mean, it really depends on what you're going to do at running back, but I think that there's some risk with, maybe C-Mac runs for a touchdown too. Like, this could be like an easy win where they don't need to score a ton, and he's safe, yes, but I think you want to save some money at quarterback and cash and pay up another position. So I don't think I'd go there, but I think it's viable. I think it works. But I think there's better, more optimal plays for cash and tournaments, really.
Yeah.
I think he's, point per dollar, he's not going to be a top 3 quarterback.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's move on to Phillip Rivers and Antonio Gates in the Los Angeles Chargers going to New York to take on the Jets.
Why don't you tell me about Antonio Gates, because I just missed it. And I know it's Antonio Gates week and stuff, and I've seen people talking about him. But what happened? Hunter Henry got hurt, or is this his last home game? What is it?
No, Hunter Henry has a lacerated kidney. He got put on IR. Okay. So Gates is now the starting tight end again, and they're just talking about how he hasn't had much snap counts the last few weeks and this and that, and they're like, well, he's his most healthiest he's probably been in like 3 or 4 years, so he's ready to go, and he's just like, he was in an article saying like I'm ready to give it all I can, and see what happens at the end of the season, and he's ready to step up, and I mean, at his price is what, $4,500 on FanDuel. I don't mind it, but I don't see like I said yesterday, I don't see more than maybe 15 points is like the most I see him getting. I can't see him blowing
I don't
up,
see a ton of upside in him, but he might be cash game playable because he's probably gonna get a touchdown and like 4 catches for 50 yards, but he's not a tournament play.
Yeah. Another tight end, we already passed him up, but when we wanted talking at the low end was Eric Ebron at 5,200. He's been pretty involved in the offense the last few weeks. I remember when you were saying low at tight end, I remember I looked him up earlier today, and he was pretty cheap. So anyways, going back to that game, but yeah, I think Gates is, if you want to pay up everywhere and you only have 4,500 a tight end and you want to punt, that's your option, because he's probably going to catch 4 or 5 balls for about 30 yards, 40 yards, and you hope that he gets in the end zone. That's, and if that happens, you made your day. So,
and like on FanDuel, he's like the punt price, and like it's either you're going to go way up, or like I'd go for the punt at his price versus like some of these, like I don't really love tight ends, so he opens up some value too. It's not the worst idea. You just, pray that maybe he gets 2. It is on the road. Like the Jets have been hanging with teams. They're a team that like, even last week they hung with the Saints on the road. So, maybe like they're not good against the tight end. So it's a decent punt to play, I think, on FanDuel. Outside of that though, like what's going on? What's going on with Keenan Allen? Is he fully healthy playing?
Okay, yeah. He is 100% full, ready to go. He isn't even off the injury report, which is kind of weird. So
yeah, he's in a good spot.
Yes, he is. He's in a great spot. Him and one other guy is basically your cash game. Start off your locks in your cash game. It's either Keenan Allen or Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
Who would you prefer? I know you're more of a Michael Thomas guy. I prefer Thomas this week, believe it or not.
It's really tough because Keenan's been good, and this is a great spot for him.
I see ceiling GVP Keenan, cash Thomas. Floor, Thomas has a better floor.
So Atlanta, New Orleans game, what are like the implications there? Don't both those teams need to win?
They both have to win. Oh, yes, they both have to win.
There's major shootout potential in that game. Like Thomas, I think they both have similar upside. I would agree that Thomas might have more upside, but you wouldn't be surprised to see Keenan Allen have a $120 and a touchdown and 10 catches and have a big ass game too.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we've seen the ceiling games from Keenan this year. We have not seen a ceiling game from Thomas. So
no, but we've seen like,
last week
very
he should have had
high rate of opportunity. I know. He got 2 called back. Like,
so
he's the clear option in that pass game. He gets about 10 targets a game and he catches like a high amount of those per game.
I mean, last time 10 for 117 and a touchdown.
Yeah,
that was his best game of the year.
Yeah.
So
but he just hasn't had the touchdown, but like the touchdowns, but he's had the usage all season long.
Oh yeah.
And the Saints have been killing people. Like the Falcons could take a lead. Like we saw the Jets hang with the Saints last week. Like maybe their D's not as great as everyone thought, and the Falcons are a good offense. So he's got major upside. Like I like both a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So, but back to the Chargers Jets. Yeah, it's Keenan Allen. I don't really have much interest in Gordon just because his price.
Yeah,
if I'm going to pay for Hunt or I'm going to pay for Zeke or even go up to Gurley.
Do we know if the Jets D tackle is playing? What's his name?
Wilkerson. I've heard. I still say no. Say that. Right now they're saying no, but it's not for sure. So
if he plays, that strengthens our takes on this game. You know what I mean? Because it makes it worse for Gordon, better for the pass.
Mm-hmm. And the Chargers need this game. They need to win their last 2 games to get in the playoffs, and it's not like it's that far-fetched. The teams ahead of them are Buffalo, who has a away game at New England this week, which is probably a loss.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have to go to Miami last game of the year. And you could say all you want. Miami plays tough at home. If they know they can knock out the Bills, keep them from being in the playoffs for another year, and if the Bills are tied with the Chargers at the end of the year, the Chargers have the tiebreaker on them. So, and then the other team that's ahead of them is the Titans.
Yep.
And the Titans are playing home against the Rams, and then I think they're either home or away against the Jags. Those are 2 losses too. So,
Not
you know,
necessarily,
Chargers got a
but
lot to play for.
Possible.
You know,
Titans aren't automatically losing those games, but yes, there's the tough games.
the Titans are the worst 8-5 team I've ever seen in my life. I when I look at their record or 8-6, whatever they are, I can't believe they've won 8 games. Sometimes they're such a boring brand of football.
I completely agree, but they have a very, very experienced defensive coordinator, and they do have like veterans on that offense and a poised quarterback. Like it's not automatic. The Jags maybe have something to play for last week, maybe not. They're beat up, and the Rams they can get beat on the road. They're much better at home than on the road. And, you know, like, I don't know. I don't think that they're as bad as you think. But I don't think they're very good. But I think those are not just automatic losses.
All right, we got LaShawn McCoy traveling to New England to take on Tom Brady. Gady just played Brady in the New England Patriots.
So I actually like this game a lot.
Interesting. You have the floor, sir.
What is
You have the floor.
What is Tyrod Taylor's price?
He is on FanDuel. He is 7,500.
That is kind of high. I'd like to get him cheaper, but
What is he on DK?
I don't know. I'm guessing he's cheap, but he just had a pretty good game last week. He seems recovered from the injury they had earlier in the year.
It's 5,500.
5,500. Yeah.
Right around the same price as Winston and Cousins. Mariota.
I'd take Taylor over all those. Maybe Mariota I think about, but I take Tyrod Taylor over all those. You know, New England's D's not great. This is a rivalry division game. You know, I don't mind playing Tyrod Taylor and or Shady. And then, Brady's in a great spot. Gronk's in an amazing spot. And Deion Lewis is in a very good spot, too. And with the injury to Rex Burkhead could open up some more pass game for him. So I don't mind that triple stack, Gronk, Brady, and Deion Lewis in tournaments. But, you know, that's a lot of money to be spending, too. So, like, you can play Gronk naked, you know, or, like, with Tyrod in the same lineup and have that correlation. But I think this game's going to be high scoring. Not good defenses on either side and rivalry. And Buffalo still has a slight chance, right? So they aren't just going to lay down. So
no, Buffalo's in the playoffs right now. So.
Yeah, I know. So I like this game a lot. Like, you know, I don't think New England's defense is that improved from what they were earlier. And I liked what I saw out of Buffalo last week. Like, they impressed me. So I like stacking this game a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring here.
Interesting. This would be this would be the week to play Brady. You know, because he's just been, you know, dog doo-doo the last 3-4 weeks. Yeah. I mean, in his mind, I mean, his price is still 8,600.
Yep.
He's just you know. But
Did
this
you
is
play
when
Brady last week at all?
No.
Did you have any Brady? Neither did I. Like I was like.
I think there's something wrong with him.
Me too. And at the same time, like he could just snap out of that and play amazing too in this matchup. But yeah, like I don't love going Brady Gronk because it's just too much money. But I do like Gronk. With Burkhead out, that was like a solid like 10 catch run usage guy that they're going to need on their offense that isn't like replaced. It's like spread out amongst the rest of them. If what's his name, the second receiver, not the guy who was hurt last week, what's his status?
Chris Hogan.
Yeah, Chris Hogan.
Right now he's playing, but I mean we don't know. He was out at the end of the week, so.
If Chris Hogan plays in this game, I don't mind playing him either. I think they try and get him back in a rhythm before the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. I think so. For me, I like Dion Lewis. I think he's a sneaky play. I think that Brady is, like I said, this is the way to play Brady. I'm not as high on this game as you are, to be honest with you. Like I'm not. If you like this game and I'm not that high on it, then it's probably a game to really attack. Like I said, this is a week to take Brady.
Yeah.
So you just hope that they both could put up points. McCoy's been playing well, so it's not like it's a bad option. Gronk loves playing against Buffalo because he's from there. Mm-hmm. So we know that. Yeah. So I like it as a good GPP option. And, Dion Lewis, maybe little Brandon Cooks. Why not? I mean, Brandon Cooks, does he operate out of the slot a lot? I mean,
yes.
Because, that's where Keenan Allen just destroyed them.
You know what? Actually, yeah, he does. He moves in there. With Hogan back, he might get a little less, and he may play more wide. But he definitely does play some slot, too. That's why, with Hogan back and him being cheaper, I'd rather take him. Like, Hogan had, a good touchdown relationship with Brady, versus paying a little more for Cooks. But, yeah, they're all in play. Sometimes that's why, Brady naked, it makes sense, too. But I think Gronk is fairly secure in this spot.
Yeah. For sure. That's
actually,
for sure call of the day.
Nice. I actually think, right, you almost need to stack this game if you're playing Brady and Gronk because, you'll get the most out of those guys if the Buffalo guys are keeping pace. If the Bills blow them out.
Who are you putting with him then? I mean, with McCoy? Who else?
Yeah,
Just McCoy.
Just McCoy. Or you don't play Brady, but you play Gronk and a receiver and Tyrod. But the spread has moved in, right? It opened at 12.5. It's down to 11.5. And the over-under is staying strong at 47. That's a big total, dude. So, it's...
I would bet the Bills all day in Vegas right now. I don't think it was by 11, but...
The line supports what I'm saying right now, Mm-hmm. Division games, man, they're very rarely blowouts, especially in that AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
Miami beat this team 2 weeks ago, dude. You don't think Buffalo's we want to do the same?
Yeah. I just think it's in New England.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been gone for a few weeks. They're back at home. And Buffalo is... I've seen what the Buffalo does when they travel, so I don't know. I'm more into... right now, I'm more into just some other places, but I do see the merit in a Brady team with a stack. So let's go on to one of the premier games of the week. We got Matt Ryan traveling down to the Big Easy to take on Drew Brees and my boy Alvin Kamara and the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah. This game's going to go off, I have a feeling. We haven't had a ton of massive shootouts this year, and this one's poised to just do that. I think in tournaments you can actually play Breeze. On the Falcons side, I think I'd lean more towards Freeman. But if you think the Saints are going to get ahead, then you can also do some Matty Ice and Julio. But I actually think the Falcons are going to stay steady on the ground, and that's how they're going to do a lot of their damage. And the Saints are going to do a little bit of it all. But I think there's just enough scoring where everybody can be big scorers here. Kamara is probably my least, the play I'm interested in the least. I just think he's getting a little too expensive for the opportunity. He's just not getting enough touches, and you are solely depending on the big play touchdown on FanDuel on DraftKings with the targets you could get there in this kind of game. But I'd rather have Ingram. And on the Falcons, I'd probably have a little bit of both sides. Like I'll have the running back, maybe even like the quarterback with the running back, and then some quarterback receiver stacks. And then on the Saints side, I'll have some Ingram, and then I'll have some Breeze, Ingram, and Thomas stacks. But I definitely will be attacking this game a lot.
Falcons have been giving up the fourth most points to quarterbacks the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign for Breeze.
Yo, I mean, it's Christmas. Me and you've been talking about the Breeze blow-up game all season long. Like, why not this week, man?
Yeah, I can see it happen. And the thing is I like Kamara a little more than you do, just because the Falcons are terrible, but with pass catching backs out of the backfield. So I could see them he lines up in the slot. He lines up. They're just going to give him problems. Now I agree with your point with his price, and I wish that he had more, but he's getting it done. He's getting in the end zone. He's getting it done.
I think like where you play Kamara would be with like Matty Ice and Julio, because you want the Falcons to be like winning and the Saints needing to come back. If the Saints are leading, he'll probably get less touches and they'll grind it out with Ingram. But if they're trailing in the pass game, he'll get involved.
See, I like Sanu better than Julio.
I get behind that too.
Yeah, I just do not like Julio. To me, like Marshawn Lattimore is going to be on him, and I realized a couple weeks ago he got Marshawn Lattimore a little bit in towards the end of the game, but that was also coming off Marshawn Lattimore taking 2 weeks off, so he's probably a little winded. Now he's coming back. He's at home. I mean, Julio last week just disappointed again.
What do you think Julio's ownership's going to be?
Oh, very little.
Yeah. That's the only reason why you could take a shot, because in this kind of game,
he'll be less than 10%.
Yeah, and he's got upside for 30 points. Like,
no, he has the highest ceiling of anybody on
football.
In football,
that's
but
it
like just never see it.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
We've seen it once this year.
Once a year, but
I just can't see him just burning Lattimore for that much. But you'd have to get him away from him. But Lattimore's gonna shadow him.
Yep.
We know that. So that's what makes Sanu, I think, a good play.
Yep. I could definitely get behind Sanu.
Yeah. And Freeman, I was all in on Freeman earlier in the week before Coleman came out. And I like Ingram too. If you like the game script, this is a good game. You can have a little bit of everything. It's the last game of the early game. So then there's 3 later games. The later games, first one involves, I didn't realize this. This is a little different. Jacksonville is traveling. Blake Bortles is traveling to San Francisco to take on, all of a sudden, God at quarterback and the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah. Fournette's status is important, right? Like, is he playing or is he already out?
No, he's playing. He's been practicing the last 2 days. So.
All right, so he's in play. Bortles is in play. The cheap receivers are in play. Like, you can go back to Westbrook. You can take a shot on Mickens, especially on DraftKings. I think that kid's a talent. It's a great story, too. Do you know during training camp, before he made the team, he was sleeping in his car because he was that broke, and he just, grinded it out, made the team, and now he's scoring touchdowns. He's returning kicks for touchdowns. Like, they're keeping this kid, and they're going to give him more usage. And it's just, like, a great story. He's kind of like a Tyreek Hill of this team. And, everyone's on the Cole train, but I'll play some Mickens, too. Cole's a great play as well. And then on San Francisco, I know the kid's been playing great, Garoppolo, but I'm not going to take him against the Jacksonville defense on this slate with so many other options. It's just not going to happen. But you can play the Jacksonville side. They've shown us all season long that they're getting ready for the playoffs, and they don't just give up on games. They'll keep passing even with leads. They showed us last week they went for 46 points, game well in hand, and they're just kind of just continuing to get better and better, and they're using more guys. So I like using value guys more than an expensive player like Fournette. but San Fran's a terrible defense. Like, they're going to score points here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like D.D. Westbrook. I like Blake Bortles. Keelan Cole, I'm a little bit off because Alan Hearns returned to practice last few days.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to bump him a little bit.
Yep.
And then Mickens, obviously, there's a flyer on them if you want.
On DraftKings, Mickens.
Yeah.
You can take a shot.
For San Francisco, I'm with you. I'm not into Jimmy G this week. The Jacksonville D, I like. They're 5,600, but I think there's other Ds you can probably go to and get just as good. But I wouldn't fault you if you just want to go with Jacksonville. They've been the most consistent. And, just an awesome play all year. So wouldn't mind that. There's not much else in this game that I like.
There's one more play.
What else? Goodwin?
No. It's on San Francisco's side.
Carl's side? No. Trent Taylor.
Nope. On FanDuel only.
The kicker, Robbie Gould.
The boat. Get on the boat. The best of all time. Robbie Gould.
Yeah.
Yo.
Dude, that guy. Yeah, I mean, I had him in one of my teams last
year. They finally raised his price to 47, but the last 3 weeks he's gone for 15, 17, and 24, and all respectable defenses. So they're at home. They'll probably, get in field position. They're talented. They're motivated.
He gets 3 field goals.
Yeah, maybe even 4.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next game. I believe it or not, I have some strong takes about this game, and you're gonna laugh, but your New York Giants traveling to Arizona to probably visit some relatives that have retired to Phoenix from New York, and the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah. I don't have much interest here, like, at all.
Are you crazy that I have stuff to say about this game?
No, I think it's great. If anything, the Giants' value receivers are in play. Mm-hmm. And, they're fighting for jobs. You could take a flyer on the Giants' defense, but I don't know. I'd rather them be home. And I don't see anything on the Arizona side, especially not Fitzgerald. Like, they're probably going to start, kind of like tuning him out.
Mm-hmm.
So, Giants value receiver I can get behind, though. What do you like?
Okay, so everybody's all like, don't, Sterling Shepard, bad. Peterson's going to be on him. No,
he's not.
Sterling Shepard plays 80% of his routes in the slot. We all know Peterson don't go in the slot. Yeah. Play Shepard. Play Shepard. 66 or 6,700 on FanDuel. Play him. Yeah. Telling you, play him. Here's my other hot take. All right, you want to do a GPP punt at tight end and not do Antonio Gates? Jermaine Gresham. You're gonna laugh.
You're gonna click Jermaine Gresham over Antonio Gates.
In the GPP, I am. You want to know why? Because
I know why.
He's 4,500. He's facing a team in the Giants that have given up like 12 touchdowns out of like 13 weeks. And in the 2 starts that Stanton's had this year, Gresham's caught a touchdown pass in both of those games.
What about Ricky Seals-Jones?
He's been like phased. I'm telling you.
He got 6 targets last week.
I'm telling you. He's barely running any routes. Talk to Cam. Cam and him are like, they're like bed buddies. Gresham was out last week too, by the way.
Okay.
So yeah, now they say he's sick, but they just said he was out. But he's been practicing this week, and like I said, like he's had his best games were the games that Stan played in. So, I think at 4,500 as a GPP. Punt.
I'll put him on one team for you this weekend, I promise.
Hey, if he scores a touchdown,
I'll call you.
I called Demir Bird last week, so I just thought it was an interesting stat that I was like, wow, well, Stan obviously likes him, so I'm not saying play Stanton, but I also think Fitz is is playable. I just don't think he's going to have much of a ceiling game. They could throw it to him a million times. I do think the Giants defense is in play. What's their strength right now? The Giants defense strength is probably their D-line, right?
Yeah. Yep.
The Arizona offensive line is terrible. So you're hoping for strip sacks, fumbles, stuff like that. It could happen.
Get you pick six. Yeah, they have some athletes in the secondary too.
That's the thing. For the price that they are against the offense that they're going against, that's a decent value.
Sure.
You know, so
I just like the Chiefs so much better.
I agree. No, I understand. And then I really have no interest in Elijah Penny. So don't.
There's a reason you've never heard of him.
Yeah. Let's move on to the last game. We're probably about an hour. We're probably doing well. This is obviously, we know who's going to be on this game. This is the Joe Buck Troy Aikman special. They are probably going to get in the booth about 6 hours before the game starts and be like, oh, my God, I haven't been to Dallas in like a month or 2 months. I don't know what we're going to do, Troy. We haven't called a Cowboy game in Dallas for like 6 weeks. God. Oh, God. I'm just going to mute.
You say that every week, man. You just hate Joe Buck in Dallas.
I just because that's all they do. NFC East. It's like they can't schedule anything else. 1 week, could you just send them to do I don't know, who are the 2 worst teams in the NFC? I mean, just pick 2. Do that. Yeah, no, the Giants.
Giants, Arizona.
Yeah, what? Do it, Giants, Arizona. I'd like that. They should do Jacksonville and San Francisco. That would be a little bit, to be honest with you, I don't care. They should be doing the Atlanta-New Orleans game. That's a better game with 2 teams that are higher in the seedings. But no, they won't be there. They'll be in Dallas, right? Yep. Exactly.
In Dallas.
Yeah. Anyways, to me, I feel like this game revolves around one person and one person only. Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
He plays, I'm all in on Zeke. He doesn't play, I'm fading Zeke. What say you?
What is Zeke's
Is that scary to do that even anyways?
I don't know if I'd go all in. But
okay, so you're saying if he was out, fading him 100% is not crazy?
Oh, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
But going all in on him after he hasn't played in 6 weeks,
he looks good. I saw
just got embarrassed. Yeah, that's fine, but I don't know. It's he's got upside. You play him, but he's not 100% kind of guy. There's a lot of running backs that could do great.
Is he a donkey play though? Because I think he's going to be the highest owned player on the entire slate.
Wow. Then yes, he's a donkey play.
I think he is.
What people are looking at this and saying he's just going to do what Todd
Gurley
Gurley did last week.
People are looking at Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the Cowboys.
Uh-huh.
It's the primetime game.
Yeah.
Okay, everything is just there. He's back. They need the win. They're playing a team that needs to win. If New Orleans beats Atlanta earlier in the day, it's even going to be even a bigger game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I just think the public's just going to be all in on Zeke. To me, who would you rather play on Sunday? Would you rather play Hunt, Ingram, or Zeke? Of those 3, because they're all the same price.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I like taking the discount of $1,000 with McCaffrey.
Exactly.
I might play him with some of these guys too.
Right now, my cash game my cash for one lineup that I did that I'll probably screw with, but I have Hunt and McCaffrey in there right now.
Mm-hmm.
I
build a couple.
Tyron
teams.
Smith. If Tyron Smith was in, maybe I put Zeke in there instead. But I just think that they're going to run the ball 25 times with them.
Was Seattle getting abused on the ground before last week? No, right?
Who have they been playing? Who they played before? The Rams. Because let's see. Seattle. No, it was kind of like an anomaly. That's why everybody was kind of off.
Yeah. Early. And everyone was
early.
on Le'Veon Bell, so it was hard to play both.
Here's the thing. Okay, the last 6 weeks, they've been giving up. Let's see, it'd be about the 15th most, probably about middle of the pack.
Yeah.
But that's after last week and giving up 45 points to Gurley.
Yeah.
So let's take last week away.
Yeah.
And they're in probably the top 10 of least amount. So.
And Bobby Wagner is like a Pro Bowl caliber middle linebacker.
And they're getting KJ right back too.
Yeah.
And I was saying this last night. Like, you notice in the NFL when a week before a team gets gashed.
Yeah. And
it's like they at least like patch up that Band-Aid for a week. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe something else brings a leak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think if you really wanted to go tournament-wise in this game, it would be fading Zeke and going with somebody like Dak or Dez.
If Zeke's going to be that high owned, you 100% fade him.
Like, I think
it's
Dak
not even
or
a question.
Because
what like you're like the highest owned player on the slate. You can't tell me that he's going to go for 40 here and like you needed him. Like other running backs are going to have similar performances. Like you definitely don't need to go there. There's a chance that Seattle takes the lead and the Cowboys are forced into passing. Like, you know, it's one down week for Russ Wilson and they don't have any running game. Dallas is better against the run than the pass. Like, you know, Russ Wilson's going to try to make the playoffs and he's, you know, he could easily get on top and, you know, Zeke kind of like not get as many carries as you'd want. You know what I mean? Like, I actually think Russ on DraftKings is a good play this week. I think he's dangerous, you know, and like they're going to have to score through him at 7K. 9K on FanDuel, that's a little tough.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Too much on FanDuel for me. Yeah, even in cash. No way. I could see him getting 27 points. It's very easy he can get 27 points. I'm not saying he can't.
Yeah.
I just think that other quarterbacks can get.
Yeah. Goff at 76 can get you to 27 too. Yeah.
But he could also get like just he can get you the 3x and save you the money and you get it somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's what I think that one, you got to be looking at somebody like Doug Baldwin to bounce back this week. Yeah. Cowboys have given up the third most points to wide receivers the last 6 weeks. Jimmy Graham bounce back week. I mean, this whole team got embarrassed. I mean, they didn't just like get it. Like they got
it hard.
I mean, literally, it was like like American Me when they bend over the guy and they butt raped him and they just kept on doing it. That was it. I mean, they just kept going and going and it was like it just kept steamrolling. So I just think that this game. Who wins this game?
Seattle.
I think so too.
Yeah.
This is a game that Seattle goes in there and wins and just totally just destroys the moral psyche of the Cowboys because they should have lost last week, even in the fake ass Raiders. Don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. They're not a good team.
Yeah. Just by the way, right now, I just got a text by a man here from Fuego Hillman.
We got an owl up top.
Yeah, we got an owl up top. B-Dole 12. Owl up top. He's got 291.5 splitting.
In the after hour, in the late night. Late night NBA donkey. Splitting with a handful of guys, but he's...
Hey, whatever, man. Owl up top.
40 seconds left, man. It looks like he's gonna win a GPP, baby.
Not a boy. Hey, man, whatever. Hey, I don't care. I would take that. Shit. Let's see. There's really not this game. I think Seattle wins. I really don't think that they're going to put in that kind of effort this week. They're going to probably have their best week of practice this week. Russell Wilson is such a professional. And I think that Dak Prescott is going to see what he has to become because Dak is kind of like Russell Wilson in my mind,
Yeah.
And but I could be wrong with the ownership projection with Zeke, but I just think that it's just that everybody knows he's coming back. It's the recency bias of what just happened to Seattle.
Yeah.
Plus he's coming back. Plus the controversy. It's everything that just I feel like he's going to be the highest owned guy. And I was surprised at his price too. I thought he'd be a little bit more. I thought he'd be like, I don't know, 86 or 8,700, but 83, that makes him pretty enticing.
Yeah, because he can get 80 yards rushing, but 2 rushing touchdowns, where they get down on the goal line, and then a couple catches and get you to 25. That's for sure, But I'm gonna pull up some ownership projections, and it's early week, but I'm just blown away.
It'd be kind of weird, like right now. See, that's the thing. It'd be kind of nice if we had the Thursday game because we could kind of go on that a little bit. Didn't we used to have? Oh, that's right. We used to. There's when they used to not be late swap.
Yeah.
Remember they used to be able to do that. You used to be able to go on Photograph.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be able to see their ownership before. That's right. You can't do that.
Yeah. No, but RotoGrinders projects Todd Gurley to be 30% owned and Ezekiel Elliott to be 25. Right, I think you're right. That'll flop, because I don't see Todd Gurley being the highest owned against Tennessee, but maybe it's just that recency bias and he's that whole offense, but he's not the whole offense, but
I like Robert Woods this week. Cooper Kupp come back. I like
recency bias is like the worst thing to do in football DFS.
Mm-hmm. Either ways, it's hard not to get into, the traps, who's like your must play right now? You had one.
I really like Keenan Allen and Michael Thomas, and I like Jared Goff.
Let me ask you this question. The ownership, the lineup construction this week, I was thinking about this in my head. I'm like, people are going to go with probably paying up at running back this week.
Oh, yeah.
But the contrarian build, I would think would be to somehow go with
value.
Keenan Allen and Michael Thomas, and maybe one of maybe McCaffrey in 7,300, and then fading everybody above them.
McCaffrey and Bibbs with an expensive quarterback and expensive receivers would be a really nice way to approach. Because you just who's going to get me 30, right? You want to get 3 guys to get you 30 in a tournament. So a quarterback, right? Tom Brady can get you there. Russell Wilson gets you there. So you're like a ready contrarian going that route, right? And then if your running backs can match those studs point per dollar, that's great too. You can't have Gurley and Zeke have 35s each, If they get 25s, then you're way ahead of those people because then you have those receivers. Then you need the receivers to go off, But it's like in FanDuel DFS for football, that question you just asked me, what's your favorite spots? You got to nail your top 3 as the highest scoring players on the slate. It doesn't matter what their price is, And if you can nail that and build good lineups around it, that's how you win NFL DFS.
Yeah, that's it, guys. I was thinking another option that would be good underneath 73 would be Deion Lewis at 6,700.
Yeah, I like Deion Lewis a lot. And I do like the idea of Russell Wilson, but he's expensive, and I think you can get exposure to him through a Baldwin or Jimmy Graham. And I think I'm gonna try and get Gronk or Kelsey with Keenan Allen and Michael Thomas on my teams.
That would be an interesting build. Remember, guys, also, no Greg Zuerlein this week. He definitely, I don't know what happened with that. It just came out of nowhere. And believe it or not, he would have been he was in one of the top 3 players in most teams that have made the finals in season.
I'm not surprised, man.
It's amazing, that guy. He was a top 20 player in PPR leagues if you compared him with, somebody else, it's crazy. The other players, the other positions. It's kind of crazy here, Paulie. We're not supposed to really build a lineup, but whatever.
Yeah, let's do one.
Okay, so I just did one right here. I did one. I got on FanDuel. I got McCaffrey, Deion Lewis, Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas, Kelsey, Gould, Chiefs, and we have 13-3 to fill in with one wide receiver and a quarterback.
All right, hang on a second. Run that back.
Okay.
You got I want to build it so I can see it visually. You got McCaffrey
and Lewis.
Okay.
Keenan Allen and Michael Thomas.
Uh-huh.
And then Travis Kelce, Gould, and the Chiefs.
Travis Kelce, Gould, and the Chiefs. Okay.
And that leaves us with 13-3 for a wide receiver and a quarterback. Okay. So we need a really value wide receiver, somebody like I don't know. You could go with, a Mickens would be a little bit too far, I think, down.
Yeah, that's too crazy.
Maybe a Dontrell Inman at 4,800. Jesus, Lordy Almighty.
Dontrell Inman, yeah.
Dontrell Inman at 4,800.
Some of the Bears' value could be.
Jesus, Lordy, and nobody's going to be on that.
No.
And,
and he's like a number 2 against the Broncos, right?
Yeah, and then that leaves us with basically any quarterback to get except for Wilson or Brady. So you can put Breeze, Cam, Stafford. I like that.
So
I like that lineup. Whatever we want. Where would you go with quarterback here? Would you go Breeze?
You can go Breeze. What if you go Alex Smith?
Yeah, that's another one. That was the other
Kelsey,
guy.
And then you have 5,500. Tyrell the Gazelle, Keenan Cole, Mickens. Hold on. Let's go back to the drawing board here. What was
Inman was 4,800.
Yeah. Is there a third receiver that we liked up here? Not really. Why don't we go? You're gonna like this. Hang on. Let me see. Yeah, you're gonna like this. Oh yeah. Oh, this is coming together really nicely. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Phillip Rivers.
Oh.
Phillip Rivers. Mm-hmm. The GOAT. Antonio Gates. And then pay up to Tyreek Hill at the third receiver spot. We get a little triple stack with Rivers, Keenan Allen, and Gates.
Mm-hmm.
Against the Jets passing secondary. We got the Tyreek Hill, Kansas City Chiefs correlation. Tyreek Hill takes a punt to the house, and we're jumping for joy. We got a piece of the Patriots with Deion Lewis. We got Christian McCaffrey. It's a beautiful lineup, and Michael Thomas in that slugfest.
Mm-hmm.
And
we still have 300 if we wanted to upgrade it, kicker.
Yeah.
To I don't know.
Yeah. I don't mind that at all.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if I can get Gronk with Tyrod Taylor. Who would I do at receiver? But yeah, I like that little core on the inside with Thomas, Keenan Allen, Deion Lewis, and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And then you build a couple different combinations of quarterback, wide receiver 3, tight end.
Yeah.
60. But I like that 4-man in the middle there.
Yeah, that's good, especially with Kansas City D too. They put up a lot at 4,500. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it here for After Hours with Audie. This will be the last time I think that you're gonna be able to see me because I will not be on the Y stream on Saturday. So, Merry Christmas to everybody out there on the nation. We really, really appreciate you guys checking in and listening to us. All the premium members. We really, honestly, it's humbling when you guys are asking us questions on Twitter and you're in the chat rooms earlier. Basketball, I go on the YouTube live shows every night, and there's tons of people in there talking, trolling. It's just great, and hopefully maybe we can start a GoFundMe page for Johnny so we can get him a new webcam. Because it seems like it's always cloudy with a chance of late scratch with him. So
me too, man. It's been an awesome year with the nation, and it's just getting better. I love that there's somebody at the top of a GPP just to punctuate the night. It's been like every other night we've had a monster winner.
Is it over?
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
So we tied?
Yeah, $5,200 on a $4 ticket. I love it.
Very nice, man. So congrats to B-Dole. Yeah. B-Dole 12. So I hope you're reading this.
I haven't seen him in a bunch of tournaments. He's one of our hotter subscribers, but we just want to know. We just want to know who's next.
That's right, guys. So, anyways, enjoy your Christmas. Be safe, and as always, good luck.
Peace.